Franklin, who is playing violin along with Cantor Jay, leading our service tonight, adds such a beautiful dimension. And we are celebrating also Dylan Parker, who's becoming a bar mitzvah tomorrow. Dylan, you got a big fan contingent here. Very nice. And we'll also be honoring our outgoing president and Ross Erlenbacher, and welcoming our incoming president, Jen Gordon, and a lot to celebrate this evening. And we'll begin with the lighting of the Shabbat candles. And I'd like to call upon the Parker family who will come and help us light the candles.
You can find the blessing for lighting Shabbat candles on page 2 in our prayers.
We continue with the Lecha Dodi, a blessing of welcome, a blessing of joy, a blessing that asks us to not only welcome Shabbat into the sanctuary, but into our hearts and our souls as well. Lecha Dodi, pages 20 and 21.
Thank you.
outermost star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. Together we turn to pages 34 and 35 as Dylan joins me on the bima as we recite the eternal watcher of our faith. At every service, we sing a song of freedom, freedom not just from oppression, but freedom to express our traditions, to live our faith, the freedom that we experience with renewed joy every time we picture the Israelites crossing the Sea of Reeds, the Michamocha, page 40. 42. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up, our guardian, light renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going out and our coming in to life and peace evermore. We rise now and turn to page 48 as we begin the Amidah, to page 46. it's Shabbat, the holiday, bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, we always ask God for one thing, the gift of shalom, peace. Peace within ourselves, peace within our families, peace within our communities, and peace within our world. Shalom Ra, our prayer for peace, page 60.
Shalom Ra, Israel,
We take a few moments now for our own silent thoughts, and prayers, and meditations.
Our prayers for peace, and so we'll join our hearts in song with these words of Say Shalom B'Mromav, a prayer for shalom for all the world, page 62. Oh, say shalom.
we turn now to our prayer for healing. We think about our loved ones who may be ill in body, mind, and spirit. We ask for their refuah shlema, their full and complete healing. And if there is somebody you are thinking of and would like to share their name before we sing the Mishabera, please feel free to do so. We think also of Ruth Abado, Ruben Abraham and Mordechai Be'eda, Marty Aronson, Janet Buckstein, Mark Burka, Benjamin Chaim Ben Saralea, Lori Contour, Michael Dalbora, Shlomo David Levine Ben Chava, Don Goldstein, Joanne Goodman, Stuart Goodman, Jim Graham, David Greenberg, Robbie Mahler Hartman, Dennis Hernrich, Julian Horowitz, Floyd Keene, Alvin Klein, Ronna Kramer, Marilyn Loesch, Michael Mahler, Barry Aaron, Jaleesa Matthews, Leah Mostow, Enrique Neufeld, Noah Ben Abi, Linda Merrim, James O'Neill, Pesach Ben Abraham, Rachel Yisrael Bat Chaim, Judy Rosenberg, Roberta Rosenfeld, Marty Riddell, Matt Sokolov, Marlene Sampson, Ike Serrata, Yehuda Serrata, Lois Shapiro, Michelle Slutsky, Sarah Batsheva, Laura Sauer, Deborah Sen, Jeff Slowick, Andrea Steinberger, and Yocheved Haya. Together, we sing the words of the Mishabera, page 253. Well, in a few minutes, we are going to hear from our incoming president, Jen Gordon, and also bless our board members. But allow me just to say a few words about our outgoing president, who officially passed over the name tag at our annual meeting. And we could just simply say that Ross Erlenbacher is an outstanding leader with extraordinary professionalism. And I don't know if you remember, I used to kid you a little bit about the corporate jargon. You know, Ross works and, you know, he's a consultant and works with boards and companies and, you know, uses words, I don't know, like synergies, things like that. And, you know, I used to say, you know, we're a sacred community here. But the thing is that jargon disguised an absolute heart of gold, absolute heart of gold. And a few things about Ross is first, his generosity. There's a beautiful section in the Torah that says that the Israelites, when they were building the Mishkan, they each gave as their hearts so moved them. And Ross is the kind of guy who gives endlessly in every dimension: resources, time, wisdom, energy. He's just a giver, par none. I mean, you kind of have to be a giver if you're going to be president of the synagogue. But Ross just really brought that to a new level in so many ways, and I know he'll continue to do so, and we're so grateful. Second thing about Ross is a determination and a persistence. Now, this week's Torah portion, there's a whole section about the Nazarites. You know, the Nazarites were people that took on extra obligations. And interestingly, the Hebrew word Nazarite comes from the Hebrew word zerizut. It's the same root, zaraz. Zerizut means determination, persistence. Ross was determined to help lead this congregation through COVID. He was determined to help bring about this really transformative community commitment program, was determined to emerge, come out of his presidency, a stronger congregation. And it was extraordinary determination that we are all the beneficiaries of. And the third thing is a sense of love, a love of Torah, a love of prayer, a love of community, a love of learning. Really, it's almost deep in his soul is a real love of Judaism. I'm lucky enough to have known Ross almost as long as almost any person in the congregation that I've known. We had a couple of dinners even before I started the Standard Club, the late great Standard Club, really some wonderful conversations and memories, and have had the incredible privilege of working with Lizzie and Matthew and seeing them grow into extraordinary young adults. Lizzie just graduated a few weekends ago from University of Illinois, I can't believe it. And we've just gotten to share some wonderful moments together. And finally, you know, I joke around about this, and it's kind of true. It may not be politically correct, I'll have to admit it, but sometimes as a rabbi, when there's a president, you kind of look at the president's spouse. When the president comes in, you see, would you get along with that spouse? You know, because you're going to be working closely with that person. It's not always true. Maybe if it's not a spouse, it's a close friend, someone that they know and connect with. Because in some ways, you know, we joke around, kind of like work spouses. And Susie is just an extraordinary, top of the top, just an incredible woman who I remember coming to your house even before I started, where you had a little party for me before I even began at Legacy Solal. And Susie, if you don't know, is a powerhouse herself in the Jewish community. This is a couple that is devoted in every way to the city of Chicago, to our Jewish community. And it has been a blessing to spend so much quality time with you both. And I am grateful for your leadership, grateful for your friendship, grateful for your commitment to our congregation. And we are all truly blessed from your presidency. Thank you, Ross. Now, I am honored to introduce our new president, Jen Gordon, who will share some remarks, I imagine, also about Ross and about our community.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm speaking this microphone. Earlier, you all heard a little about me. Now I turn to talk about Ross, our new immediate past president. Many words could be used to describe Ross: Illini fan, dedicated father and husband, Zoom technician, and Jewish geography expert. For those of you who don't know what Jewish geography is, it's like the game 6 Degrees of Separation from Kevin Bacon. Did you know that the same holds true in Judaism? If you want to know how you're connected to any other Jewish person, Ross can make that connection. But thankful and thoughtful are the top 2 words for Ross that I have learned watching his presidency. We met as new steering committee members, each of us from the other legacy congregation, We shared our different perspectives and ideas throughout the fusion of our great community. Being the first president post-merge, the very unexpected challenge of a pandemic brought definition to the main mission and goal of his presidency. The first year we worked together, most meetings Ross attended by listening in through the speaker on somebody's phone, as he was often working out of town. This was before anyone knew what Zoom was. And who knew how being able to Zoom would be such an improvement? With Ross's leadership, we had great success with how quickly Macomb pivoted to having online services and multi-access events to get us not only through the pandemic, but also keeping us connected. Creating safe events, both virtual and socially distanced together, uniting Macomb Lakeside through a pandemic was no small feat and a new challenge for us all. Ross has been a big part of making Macomb a happening place by making events more accessible than ever. I can't list them all, but to name a few: adult education, daily classes with our clergy and educators, Shabbat services, high holiday services, and tourist light are all now streamed in some capacity, a necessary change that has engaged even more congregants than ever before. Another of his many accomplishments was Ross's crucial role in the development of rolling out a new values-based membership structure. We've seen enormous growth in the size of our congregation in the first year of community commitment. Maybe it was the presidential fireside chats that largely attributed to having over 80 new families join this past year, or the desire for more connections and spiritual support, or maybe it was a religious fee being included in the commitment. Who knows for sure, but the congregational value of supporting generation to generation is strong in this community. I'm so proud to have worked alongside Ross to achieve that. Ross, on behalf of the congregation and the board of directors, I'd like to thank you for your service by presenting you with two gifts. Reminiscent of our legacy congregations, one's a little more traditional, and one is, well, alcohol related. But both come from the heart and are filled with good intentions. The first is a hollow board. Very nice. To commemorate your time as president, as well as the baking online we all took part in when no one left home. The other, I will not pull out of the box, but there's a box here. It's a set of very limited edition Macomb Lakeside shot glasses. That I heard through the grapevine that when you started a new high holiday tradition of everyone taking a shot after a long day of streaming services. Hopefully that tradition will continue. Ross, I want to thank you again for all that you have taught me as I step into the role of board president. I look forward to deepening our friendship, as I'm sure I will be calling you for advice in the near future and for more opportunities to collaborate. Shabbat Shalom.
So now we'd like to invite up all of our board members. In particular, I'd like to specifically mention, all board members come forward, but in particular, I want to mention our incoming board members. Wendy Bloom, Wendy, Jody Rifkin, Diane Brower, Bruce Dorn, Mark Pose, Kim Weiss, I see Kim, Greg Hollander, who's returning to the board, and then all the rest of our board members. And I know there are many past presidents and previous board members here, so we're thinking of you as well. And you've taken on a sacred responsibility, and we are so grateful for this service, for everything you do. You know, it's not easy. It's a great commitment, and you make this congregation what it is. It is because of our outstanding leadership that we continue to grow, that we continue to thrive, that we have so many programs and activities. And this blessing that I'm about to invoke upon you, and Rabbi Sarada is joining us virtually, sending his love and his blessings. This blessing is actually found in this week's Torah portion, the priestly blessing. And it's the oldest blessing in all of Jewish tradition. And one of the interesting interpretations of it, it says that when you invoke and when you receive this blessing, you do so in ahava, with love. This is the blessing both of prosperity and growth of love love for our congregation, love for our community, love for the Jewish people, love for humanity. That's what guides, that's what nurtures your service, our service, everything we do here. So on behalf of our congregation, I invoke this ancient blessing upon you. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and protect you always. Ya'er Adonai v'nalecha v'chanecha. May God's light shine upon you always, as it shines so brightly upon you now. Yisa Adonai v'nalecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless each of you. Good health and happiness, love and joy, and serving in a world for which we all yearn, the world's superstore of shalom. Amen. Amen. Let's all sing the Shehechianu. So much, and thank you to all of our community who we all serve, we all give, and this is a truly an extraordinary place to be. All right. We will continue with the Aleinu on page 282. Please rise for the Aleinu. Our thoughts now turn to all those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, and all those whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. In our community in particular, we are in the period of Shiloshim, a 30 days mourning for Howard Zimmerman, father of Sue Ullman, Kendra Karasik, wife of Mark, mother of Jack, for Lorna Jane Goodman, mother of Alan Goodman, for Larry Greenberg, father of Holly Krakow, for Rudolph Keller, father of Jim Keller, for Harvey Kustin, friend of Ed Biederman, and for Sandy Bank, husband of Renee Bank. And we observe the Yorksites, the anniversary of their deaths this Shabbat, of Edith Amond, Nathan Amond, Arthur Aaron Appel, Bernice Bauer, Francine Carol Brown Bromberg, Harold Scholl, Harold Diamond, David Benjamin Fenton, Judith Frisch, Albert Goldman, Sylvia Goldstein, Maurice Goodman, Frank Hillsberg, Martin Levin, Harold Leff, Rosalind Marks, Ann Moskoff, Alan Vermont, Sydney Porter, Milton Robin, and Irwin Rosenblum. Is anyone else observing a York site or has a name they'd like to mention? In love and in memory, then, we turn to page 294 for the Kadisha Tome Owner's Cottage, page 294. Yitzgadal, Be'amai, Tzute, Be'amvit, Ma'ute, V'chayadon, Yometon, U'chayeto, Beit Yisrael, Ba'adam, Yismat, Arbeit, Imer, Yehi, Shemei, Ra'at, Le'olam, Le'olam, Yitvarah, 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 Yitzaveh, Yitzavah, Shmei, Shabbat, Le'elam, Birchata, Shirata, Yushavata, Damina, Yehi, Shema, Ra, Yisrael, Ephraim, Aleinu, Say Shalom, say Shalom, Aleinu. May God, the source of peace, send peace to all of us who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, and let us all say, Amen. You may be seated. I believe we have some announcements from our president.
Slow one more time. So coming up this weekend, our virtual Shabbat Torah study in Morning Minion will meet tomorrow morning at 9:15 on Zoom. Join us for adult enrichment on Sunday, June 12th at 10 with Rabbi Sarada as he discusses mystical secrets of Psalm 67. This will be virtual only. You can find the Zoom links for everything through Shabbat at Macomb and Macomb at Home emails. This month, the Tikkun Olam Committee is supporting Brave Space Alliance. Because of harassment and discrimination, many teens and young adults do not have stable housing situations and rely on the pantry at Brave Space Alliance for personal care items and food. There's a list of requested items on the box outside the Macomb main office and listed in your Macomb home. Items can be dropped off at Macomb all month. A big thank you to all who picked up the cereal to donate to local food pantries. We were able to distribute over 1,200 boxes of cereal to local food pantries this week. So 2 reminders. A quick reminder to make your 2022-23 community commitment. You can do so online at mymacomb.org or contact the office if you need any assistance. As you leave tonight, I see there's an OMEG to go meg, but also pens and notepads. Please feel free to take them on your way home. Again, we wish you all Shabbat Shalom.
Enter. Do we have a closing song?
I think so. Also, just want to say once again what a treat it is for Allison to be back here making music at our home. We are looking at the calendar for more Shabbat services for Allison to come
Got a
back.
regular gig.
Yeah.
All right. I love being here. You're wonderful community. Thank you.
So we're going to bring it on home with a prayer for peace. O Yavo Shalom Aleinu. 1, 2, 3, and. O Yavo Shalom Aleinu. 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 Oh,
continue with the Kiddush and Motzi. And of course, for those of you who signed up for dinner, that continues after outside as well. Assuming it's not raining anymore. Is it raining? No? Yo, wonderful. Wonderful. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri haolam. Anyone under age 13? I see a few of you in the back. You want to come up here and have some challah? Get first dibs at the challah? Yeah, you guys. Such good kids. I go, here's coming. Here he's all right. Come on up, guys. Some sweet kids right here. Sweet kids.